Good afternoon, guys. Yeah, I'm sitting in this chair, so you know what that means? It's probably a gardening video. So here as it is, it's actually got up in the 40s today, but it's supposed to be down 16 later this week. So obviously not doing anything outside. But that doesn't mean that there isn't things that I can do to make my life a whole hell of a lot easier once spring comes and it's time to plant. And y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like, oh my God, I've got to get 400 different plants in the garden this weekend. I've got to get all my seeds planted. And you're going, there's just not enough hours in the day. And all of a sudden you don't have anything, you don't get everything in. You're digging holes and spreading seeds and doing whatever. Now, I showed you all my little trick for planting peas last year. So if you didn't see that, I'll link it down below. That is by far, bar none, the best way to start peas and have them planted in 5 minutes. Okay, so show you that one. This one is a little trick I know for planting all those teeny tiny seeds that you can never get spaced right. Okay, I mean, think of your spinach, your lettuce, your carrots, your beets, things like that. Okay, stuff that certainly doesn't, either teeny tiny seeds or stuff that doesn't like its roots to be disturbed. I mean, you can't really start carrots in a seed tray, because you can, but it's not really a good idea. But what you're trying to harvest is the root, so you don't want to be disturbing the roots. So y'all know when you're going out in the garden in the spring, and it's like you get these, I've got spinach seeds here, okay? I'm going to show you how to do this. All right, teeny tiny, whoops, as they roll off my hand as I try to show it there. Teeny tiny little spinach seeds. And I'll pick up these two here that fell off because I don't want to lose my seeds. But you get all these tiny seeds and you're out there in the dirt and you go, okay, they've got to be 6 inches apart. And spinach seeds aren't even the tiniest ones. You think of like lettuce or something like that. Those are real tiny. But what if I could show you a way that you could plant all your spinach, lettuce, beets, carrots, pick one, okay, in a couple of minutes? Yeah. And with stuff that I guarantee as a prepper you have. Now, I'm not going to say this is the cause of it, but the great toilet paper shortage of 2020, this might contribute to it. So what you need to do this, it's real simple. You need toilet paper, water, and flour. The end. So I'll show you what I'm going to do here. I am going to take my little cup of flour. That's maybe a teaspoon of flour in there. And I'm going to pour some water in. And I want to mix it up so I have I got it right about the first time too. A wet, watery type paste, okay? So, and I forgot something, so give me a second, I'll be right back. Okay, so this part's a little hard to show, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. What I'm going to do is just take a pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut, in my case this time, about a 5-foot piece of toilet paper down the center lengthwise. So I wind up with 2 5-foot pieces that are, 1.5 inches wide, somewhere thereabouts, whatever would be. Okay, so let me get that cut. All right, I'll move one out of the way here, and then I'll move you guys up so you can see what we're doing here. All right, so back to me. So what I've got is now a 5-foot long by 1.5 inches thereabouts piece of toilet paper. And I've got my little paper mache, wallpaper paste type, whatever you want to do, and a paintbrush. Now, particular seeds I'm going to do on this roll are spinach. You guys asked me about brands. This one's Burpee. Okay. And if I read the directions on the back, it says thin to about 6 inches. Now, if you want to, go ahead and plant them every 3 inches, and then you can thin out half. I'm going to put these in every 6 inches. And literally what I'm doing right here, guys, is I'm going to plant in the toilet paper. I'm kidding you not. All right. So what you want to do, and I'm going to try to tip you down again here so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so there's my strip of toilet paper. Draw an imaginary line down the middle because you are going to fold this in half. So I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to put a dab of my paper mache paste every 6 inches. All right, and I'll just do 3 of them here real quick so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so there. And then what I'm going to do is take my seed and I'm going to put it in that little piece of glue, okay? So let me do the rest of this sheet and I will show you what I do next. Okay, real simple to do a 5 feet thing like this. You know, pretty easy to put one seed on something that's got a white background, real simple. And now all I'm gonna do is take this toilet paper, fold it over, and kind of push down where the seeds are a little bit, and it'll kind of turn it into a little bit of glue, okay? You know, so it'll seal that toilet paper. I think what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna put a little extra in the spaces in between to seal it up a little tighter. Because it took me a second while I was doing this, so some of the seed stuff dried. And we'll just put some more over there. Okay. So, as you can see there on the left-hand side, I've now folded it over. Let me do the rest of this, and then I will show you the next step. All right, I'm back. So I've got all the seeds put down in the first row. I actually did a second one while I was waiting too. So, but just to give you the idea, guys, I mean, tops, this took me 5 minutes, okay? And it'll save me a ton of time and headache later in the garden. But now I've got these long strips of tape, if you guys can see that, all the way down the table. I know, I'm sorry, I'm trying to hold the camera upside down. But all I'm going to do is take this, and I'm literally just going to roll it up, such as so. I'll get all the way to the end here. 5 feet, so it's going to take me a second. You do want to let these things pretty much dry out. You know, like I said, you're not doing paper mache here, guys. Just a drop or two of the flour mixture is all you need. You don't need it to stay long. It's going to stick. Y'all know how well toilet paper sticks together. You know, 1 drop of water and you've got a mess. So, but just about to the end here. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect, obviously. And now I have a seed strip of spinach. And make sure you make little tags for them, okay? And tape them on the end so you know what you have, because a month from now, 2 months from now, when you're ready to plant, you're gonna have a whole bunch of toilet paper strips. If you don't have them tagged, you ain't gonna have a clue what's on them. You certainly don't want to take them apart. I don't know about you, but I can't tell a spinach seed from a lettuce seed by looking at it. So, but there is a real quick way to save yourself a ton of time come springtime planting your tiny little seeds. And like I said, this is great for spinach, lettuce, beets, carrots, radishes, anything like that you want to do. So it'll get you better spacing, which is going to prevent you from having to do all that thinning, which is just a waste of seeds. And considering what we got going on now, I'm not interested in wasting any of my seeds. Okay, plant 100 seeds so I can, thin out 50 of them and get 50 plants is not what I think is a good idea. It's a waste of 50 seeds. So here's a quick way to do this. I will say this, just in case you're doing, say, square foot gardening, little things, put your strings out there in square foot. Do this as well with paper towel. I will say this though, use cheap paper towel. Don't use those nice thick Bounty paper towels. Those take a lot longer to decompose and moisture and stuff like that. That's why toilet paper works so well. Toilet paper literally dissolves in water, okay? So once you put these in the ground, cover it with little dirt, you've got all nice spacing, water it over, poof, the toilet paper is mostly disappeared. Whatever tiny bits of fibers are left are organic material for the garden, so it's actually good. And you've got everything laid out where you need it a lot faster than normal. So this is what I'm doing on a Sunday afternoon is, as it's cold outside, I'm just doing some gardening stuff. But good thing to sit down with the kids to do. The kids can play in there and, you can teach them a little bit about what you're doing this as well. Just another tip or trick that I wanted to show you guys that makes life a lot faster and easier, which, again, like I've said many times, there aren't going to be enough hours in the day. And y'all know if you've planted a garden, you've got any sort of decent sized garden, there ain't enough hours in the day when it's planting season. You're like, oh my God, I'm out here for 10 hours and I'm trying to get everything in. Do whatever you can to save yourself some time. This is a real good one. You're basically doing all your planning now. Roll it out, cover it with dirt, poof, you're done. And I'm going to have 20 feet of spinach put in the garden come spring in 5 minutes. So, a lot easier. Have a good Sunday afternoon. Pinball out.